Hi, my name is Randy Dickerson with Covington Automotive Repair Service. This is Cars 101. The purpose of the show is to try to save you money. We're going to do that by teaching you the early warning signs of a problem with a car before it becomes a major repair. Hope you enjoy the show. Today we're going to talk about cooling systems. What I want to talk about is warning signs of a problem with your cooling system. Every car's got either a light or a gauge for the cooling system. In cars with a light, of course, when the light comes on, that's an indication of the car running hot. At that point, you turn the car off immediately. On a car with a gauge, it's a little bit different because what you're usually seeing is something that's just standard. That gauge sets in the same place no matter what you do as you drive the car. If it gets out of that range, if it gets higher than what you're used to seeing, that's an indication of a problem. You may also see liquid on the floor or on the carport, on the driveway, underneath the car. It could be green in color, it could be orange in color. There's some other colors that it could be if it mixes as it falls down from the engine to the ground. That's also an indication of a cooling system problem. Another warning sign is gurgling noises or steam. You may see steam, or you may see a fog coming from underneath the hood of the car. These are warning signs of a problem with the car. Of course, when you see something like that, when you're driving the car, turn it off and find someone to take a look at it for you. Why do we need a cooling system? Well, as everybody knows, we put gasoline in the car. Gasoline runs up to the engine from the tank. It's burned. That burning process in each cylinder as the engine runs create heat. If we don't keep the engine cool, then there's damage occurs. So the cooling system is for that purpose, to keep the engine cool. It goes from the radiator through the hoses, through a thermostat and a housing. It's pumped by a water pump, and it's pumped into the engine. That carries heat back outside. Heat's dissipated by the radiator, and then it just continues this process again. I also wanted to show you a heater core. This is also part of the system, but this is what provides heat to the inside of the car. It runs through this, forced through it by the thermostat, so that it will maintain heat inside the car to whatever level you want as you slide the heat or you dial in your correct heat. The thermostat maintains a certain level of heat in the engine. We don't want it to run too cold. We don't want it to run too hot. So the thermostat opens and closes constantly as you're driving down the road. This little orifice right here will open as heat gets too hot. As it cools down, it'll close so that it keeps a constant temperature. Most cars run somewhere between 195 and 212 degrees. There's also a radiator cap on the car. The purpose of the radiator cap is to build pressure in the system. I thought it was pretty interesting when I found out that we carry about 16 pounds of pressure on a cooling system. The reason that happens is as you raise the pressure of water, it raises the boiling point. So a system with 16 pounds of pressure on it, the boiling point may become somewhere around 250 degrees, give or take. So that's one reason for pressure, and that's one reason for a radiator cap. That's also a part of the system that's pretty important. You're leaking on the ground, the cap could be leaking. It could be as simple as that. Some of the most common problems with a cooling system are leaks, sticking thermostats. Those are the two most common problems. Leaks can occur from the radiator or from the heater core. This one here, you can see from the corrosion in it. This started to leak internally, fogged the windows up, cooling system got low, and it overheated. Other leaks can occur from the water pump. Water pumps are probably the most common. There's a seal that seals the bearings of the water pump from the outside. And as it starts to go bad, the seals start to let the shaft vibrate, and it knocks the seal out, and it leaks from the front right here down onto the ground. That's another indication, again, of a problem when you can see coolant on the ground. There are basically two different colors of coolant or antifreeze. It's basically the same compound, just different manufacturers use different colors. These are the two most common. There are others, the green, of course, and the orange. There is coolant that some manufacturers say that you can leave in the car for a lifetime. There's others that recommend at certain intervals you change the antifreeze. This is why you should change the antifreeze. As I showed you earlier, the corrosion. This green is actually metal corrosion from water. Now, in order for antifreeze to work properly, the best mix, according to the chemist, are a 50-50 mix of antifreeze and water. If you put straight antifreeze in it, that's not going to give you as much protection as the 50-50 mix. And of course, straight water will cause this type of condition very, very quickly. So the 50-50 mix gives you the best of both worlds, and it allows you to keep the vehicle from freezing, but it also gives you the ability to fight corrosion. Now that's what I want to talk about, is corrosion on metal parts from water is very, very common. You see it rusting old cars sitting beside the road. You see it rusting things at the farm. The plows rust, the metal objects rust. This will keep that from happening. It's got corrosion fighters in it. But what happens, it's just like motor oil or any other kind of a petroleum product. This wears out. The corrosion fighters wear out. That's why we change the antifreeze at certain intervals. Most manufacturers would suggest somewhere around 2 years. Every 2 years change that. Some people recommend flushing. I like to recommend changing the antifreeze every year, once a year. It gives you better protection for fighting corrosion, and it's not that expensive to change out. You keep it changed once a year, and this is other than that lifetime coolant that some manufacturers have. The regular coolant, change it once a year. You can do it, you can trigger that in the fall when you know cold is coming, or do it in the spring when you know the heat's coming. Both are going to be rough on things without proper antifreeze mix. So change the antifreeze, change it once a year, and this will keep this type of condition from happening. It'll stop corrosion.
Avoid the holiday shopping traffic and lines this season. PC After Dark in Covington has new laptops on sale for $399 and Kingston 8GB USB drives at $12.95. Perk up your PC with 2 GB of memory, only $29. How about a new keyboard and mouse, $14.95, or go wireless for $26.95. PC After Dark is your local computer sales and service specialist for home, school, and business. Highway 278 in the Covington Crossing Shopping Center.
At Covington Automotive Repair Service, taking good care of our customers and their vehicles is our #1 priority. Our fully trained technicians provide thorough, professional, and highly technical auto repair as well as maintenance services, including tire installation, brake service, oil and fluid changes, AC service, engine tune-up, and diagnostics. Whatever service is needed, we specialize in complete engine overhaul. When you trust your car to Cars, you'll receive the best service available done right the first time and on time. Come in for your free check engine light scan today.
Want to preserve those precious old videos, Super 8 and 8mm home movies onto a DVD? Don't send them to some out-of-state transfer company that could lose or damage your film. Entrust them to Current Events Productions. We provide the highest quality transfer. Each individual frame of the film is hand-cleaned, lubricated, digitally captured, and remastered. We'll even help you organize your reels. Schedule an appointment to preview your film for free. Current Events Productions in downtown Covington on the corner of Floyd and Elm.
Whether you're in the market to buy or sell or need a short-term loan, Alcovy Jewelry and Pawn can help. We specialize in the buying and selling of gold, jewelry, tools, lawn equipment, guitars, air conditioner window units, movies, TVs, and more. Our friendly staff is knowledgeable in our products, which are tested upon purchase and are proudly displayed in a well-lit, organized environment. We buy and sell gold. Our in-house jeweler tests, repairs, cleans, and sizes jewelry. He also creates custom design jewelry. Watch battery replacement is available. Alcovy Jewelry and Pawn is located on the corner of Washington Street and Turner Lake Road.
Welcome back to Cars 101. I'm Randy Dickerson. We've been talking about cooling systems. I want to tell you a story about a customer of ours. They called us from about 10 miles away. The vehicle was overheating, and we asked them to shut the vehicle off and we'd come get it. They decided to drive it anyway, and so when they got here, of course, it was overheating, the steam was coming off of it, and you've probably heard the term before, blown head gasket. Well, that's what happened to the car. It was a 4-cylinder car, and it overheated and actually warped the head and blew the head gasket out. So I wanted to point those things out to you, what the damage can occur from that. This is a cylinder head, and this is a gasket. The cylinder head is metal, and it has a very flat surface where it mates with the engine block. Well, when it overheated, it warped. It actually turned, so that flat surface became wavy. When it did that, this fiber head gasket, actually pieces of it blew out, and it allowed coolant and oil to mix in the engine. And of course, you pull the dipstick out, and now it looks like chocolate milk inside the engine. And that's what happened. It overheated, it blew the head gasket, and that's a very expensive repair. My point to that story is you maintain the vehicle, keep that coolant changed, keep it full, and make sure that it doesn't overheat. And watch for those warning signs, especially that overheating gauge or that light that comes on. In some of the older cars, you can remember people describing fan belts and fans, cooling fans. In older cars, they were a large fan that was driven by a belt on the car. Well, as we've progressed into the newer cars now, they have thermostatically controlled electric fans. This is an example of one of those. The electric fan is mounted on a mounting plate, and then the fan blade is connected to the front of that now. And the wiring on the car now you have a sensor on the engine. That sensor turns this fan off and on depending on the heat or the temperature of the engine. At certain temperatures it exceeds, it'll turn the fan on. When it cools down below a certain pre-programmed temperature, it will turn the fan off. They found this to be much more efficient because you don't have to turn a fan now with a belt or with the engine, save the gasoline. Cars got better mileage because of this, because it's actually running off the battery. An easy way to test the operation of this fan is to turn the air conditioner on. Most cars now are programmed to turn this fan on when you cut the air conditioner on. And the reason for that is to help cool the engine, because you're putting a much bigger load on it now with an air conditioning pump. You're also going to need to cool another radiator that's on the front of the car that's for the Freon, for the air conditioning. It circles Freon into the car. As it comes out, this fan draws the heat out of it, and it can go back in and make another trip and pull heat out of the car. This is what this fan does. Now, when you turn that on, within a few seconds you should hear this fan come on, and you'll of course recognize it as a loud whirring noise. You can turn it back off and you'll hear the fan eventually cut back off. That's easy for you to test to see if this fan's working. On most cars, there's a reservoir for the coolant or the antifreeze. It's usually mounted in an area with a cap on it. Checking the coolant is pretty easy. In most cars, you can look on the side of this reservoir and it's got an add line or a full line. On some other cars, you may have to remove the cap to find out if it's got enough coolant in it. Never remove this cap when the car's been running. Wait till it's fully cooled off. Never remove this cap when you've driven the car for wait at least 2 hours, because there's pressure on it. The coolant's very, very hot, and you're going to get a 2nd or 3rd degree burn from it if you open it up. I can tell you that from experience. So do not open this radiator cap when the car's been run. Wait till it cools off. On other types of systems, they have a radiator cap on top of the radiator, and external to that, they have a reservoir tank. These are pretty simple. You can open them up and pour coolant in them without having to worry about opening the system. You don't need to take the radiator cap off of this unless you've got a leak and you know it's been leaking. This will tell you on the side right here, it'll say add or full, and you can simply add coolant coolant or antifreeze without ever having to open up the radiator. The reason you don't have to take the cap off in a system like this to fill it is because the system, how it works, it will take antifreeze from here into the cooling system when it needs it, and when it needs to take some out, it'll put it back into this bottle. So always check it cold. If you check it hot, you may see a different level of the coolant in this bottle. It's going to be different when you drive it, and it's going to be different when it's hot versus when it's cold. So always check it when it's cold. One of the most common questions I'm asked is, what kind of antifreeze should I put in my car? Should it be green? Should it be orange? How will I know if I'm putting the right antifreeze in the car? Well, one way is to come see us at Covington Automotive, and we'll help you figure that out. But there's another real easy way. Most manufacturers now, and you'll have to read the label, but they're making antifreeze that's pre-mixed 50-50. You don't have to do any mixing. It's ready to be poured into the vehicle, and it's compatible with any color antifreeze in any make or model, including the vehicles that have the lifetime coolant. So just read the label and make sure you grab a bottle of antifreeze that's pre-mixed and that will be compatible with any make or model.
Do you have trouble getting your pets to the vet? Are you homebound and need in-home veterinary care? Paws and Claws Mobile Vet Services brings all of the resources of a traditional clinic in a convenient mobile setting. We offer sick or wellness exams, spays and neuters, annual vaccines, diagnostic lab work, and when the time comes, compassionate in-home euthanasia. Paws and Claws serves Newton, Rockdale, and Henry counties. Call Dr. Carithers to schedule your appointment today.
Make your neighbors green with envy. At Forever Grow Turf and Ornamental Care, we service residential and commercial customers in the metro Atlanta and surrounding areas. We're your family-owned and operated full-service fertilization and weed control specialists. We also offer other services such as insecticides, fungicides, core aeration, and much more. We use only the most current, safest, advanced, and name-brand products on the market. So get the personal touch that you and your lawn deserve. Call the experts at Forever Grow Turf and Ornamental Care today.
Arctic Cat's Ride into Spring sales event makes now the perfect time to visit East Atlanta's Arctic Cat dealer on Highway 278 in Covington. Arctic Cat's ATVs and prowlers feature power steering, on-demand four-wheel drive, differential lock, independent suspension, mag wheels, electronic fuel injection, digital display, and 2-inch receiver hitch, just to name a few. Let Cars in Covington set you up with special financing, a free 2-year warranty, and rebates on 278 in the heart of Covington.
Avoid the holiday shopping traffic and lines this season. PC After Dark in Covington has new laptops on sale for $399 and Kingston 8GB USB drives at $12.95. Perk up your PC with 2 GB of memory, only $29. How about a new keyboard and mouse, $14.95, or go wireless for $26.95. PC After Dark is your local computer sales and service specialist for home, school, and business. Highway 278 in the Covington Crossing Shopping Center.
Welcome back to the show. I want to talk a little bit about winter coming up and what you need to do to prepare for winter. One, you want to make sure that you've got the proper amount of coolant that we've talked about. And another thing that I'd like for you to do is get it tested. Let's see if it's going to last the winter, if it's going to have the proper amount of coolant in it to bring you down to let's say 0 degrees. We're not going to see much of that in Georgia, but we want to be protected to down to 0 or even lower than that. So if you'll come by Covington Automotive, we'll check it for you for free to make sure that your coolant is going to last the winter and you're not going to freeze up because you don't have the proper mix. You're also going to be using that heater as winter's coming up. So one of the things that you may see if you're starting to get a problem with the heater core is you'll see smoke or fog on the windshield, and it gets worse when you turn the air conditioner on. You're going to get some fog, of course, and that's what the heater core is going to help you do, is take that fog off the windshield. But if it's not able to do that, then more than likely you've got a heater core that's starting to leak. And that's going to create that fog in a dangerous driving situation. So if you're coming into that, we can certainly test it, see if we've got a coolant, a heater core that's leaking coolant, or maybe a heater box that's not allowing condensation to drain. We'll be glad to check that for you. Also, with winter setting in, there's some things that are unique or about automobiles as winter comes in. One of those things is leaves on the top. This is where air is taken into the vehicle. Most systems with automatic temperature control, the car decides based on temperature whether it needs to pull air from the outside or recirculate air that's inside the car. Under conditions where it may be high humidity, then it may not want to pull air from outside and it will close the vent, or it'll pull it from outside. Leaves around there, you may pull some of those leaves into the cooling system or the heating system and into the heater core, so periodically knock those leaves out. Also on the front of the vehicle here, where air is taken into the radiator and to your condenser for your air conditioning, these will clog with debris over time, so just check it, make sure you don't have a pile of leaves clogging up, and knock that out. The other thing that winter seems to test is batteries. You've heard the term cold cranking amps. Most manufacturers now are rating their batteries by cold cranking amps. The reason they do that, a battery at 70 degrees will have 30% to 40% more power than a battery at 0. So they rate the battery at 0 for cold cranking amps. As things get cold, that's going to test your battery. If it's a weak battery, then you're going to have problems starting the car when it's very, very cold. There's a couple of things you can do. You can go by and have the battery tested before you hit those cold times, so you'll know that the battery has plenty of cold cranking amps and is going to be able to take care of you when that cold sets in. As you can see, batteries come in all shapes and sizes. There's top post and side post batteries. They're built to fit certain types of cars identically. The group number's on top of the battery. We stock a wide variety here at Covington Automotive, so we'll be able to match the battery up to the car. Bring the car by, we can test the battery for you and match the numbers up for you. If you want to put it in yourself, we'll be glad to sell you a battery. As winter approaches and cold temperatures come in, one of the things that suffers also is tire pressure. In cold weather, it seems to allow a little more of air to leak out of a tire as you're driving. So what we like to do in those periods is check the tires when we do an oil change. Now, some of you may have a warning light on your dash. It's a little the bottom of a tire with a little exclamation point in it in most cars to let you know there's a tire low. In some other cars that don't have that system, you may have to just go around and check them and visually take a look at them as you're getting in and out of the car. We use a digital gauge on these tires now because it is very critical that you get the correct amount of pressure in the tire. If there's a variance between tire to tire, then what you'll get is the light comes on because it's seeing a difference in pressure between the tires. That's what it's looking for. Some of them are programmed for a certain tire pressure. And we found that if we don't put that tire pressure in, we'll cause problems with that light. On the door of most cars, right here in the door jamb, you'll see a little sticker that tells you how much air pressure is supposed to be in each tire, front and rear. And use that. And when you can, use the digital gauge so you get the tire pressures accurate.
Moving out but not moving in yet? Spring cleaning filled up your garage? Need a place to park your boat? Store it at Store It of Covington. Convenient location, secure and well lit. Clean storage rooms 5x5 to 24x32, some with lofts, some with power. Climate controlled rooms from 10x10 to 10x30. Outdoor storage for boats or cars or trailers. Penske truck rental too. Everything you need for moving and storage is at Store It of Covington. Whether you're in the market to buy or sell or need a short-term loan, Alcovy Jewelry and Pawn can help. We specialize in the buying and selling of gold, jewelry, tools, lawn equipment, guitars, air conditioner window units, movies, TVs, and more. Our friendly staff is knowledgeable in our products, which are tested upon purchase and are proudly displayed in a well-lit, organized environment. We buy and sell gold. Our in-house jeweler tests, repairs, cleans, and sizes jewelry. He also creates custom design jewelry. Watch battery replacement is available. Alcovy Jewelry and Pawn is located on the corner of Washington Street and Turner Lake Road.
At Covington Automotive Repair Service, taking good care of our customers and their vehicles is our #1 priority. Our fully trained technicians provide thorough, professional, and highly technical auto repair as well as maintenance services, including tire installation, brake service, oil and fluid changes, AC service, engine tune-up, and diagnostics. Whatever service is needed, we specialize in complete engine overhaul. When you trust your car to Cars, you'll receive the best service available done right the first time and on time. Come in for your free check engine light scan today.
Arctic Cat's Ride into Spring sales event makes now the perfect time to visit East Atlanta's Arctic Cat dealer on Highway 278 in Covington. Arctic Cat's ATVs and Prowlers feature power steering, on-demand four-wheel drive, differential lock, independent suspension, mag wheels, electronic fuel injection, digital display, and 2-inch receiver hitch, just to name a few. Let Cars in Covington set you up with special financing, a free 2-year warranty, and rebates on 278 in the heart of Covington.
Thanks for watching the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If there's a subject you'd like to hear about or like to see on the show, then please write us or call us. We'll be glad to incorporate that in the show. My name's Randy Dickerson with Covington Automotive Center. And remember, if you take care of your car, it'll take care of you.